from Bytes Maker Academy. Today I am on my patio in my backyard with my assistant, my cat Binks, to show you some cool ideas to reuse items, because today is Earth Day, and what better way to show some love for our Earth than to take some items you might normally recycle and turn them into something really beautiful or helpful in your yard. So I'm really excited to show you these ideas. Okay, so the first project I want to show you is really cute, and you can take it and go in a bunch of different directions. So I took your basic half-gallon jug like this. To get these labels off, you could soak them, you could peel it off. If it's not that important to you, you could probably paint over it in the end. And or you can use like a heat gun or a hairdryer and kind of heat it up and peel it off. That works really well. And then I drew a dotted line around the edge. I left the handle, so I just drew a shape right here. You could go as far down as you want to go or as high up as you want to go. And what I ended up with was this little cutie. So this is where I cut it out. I just used scissors. I just poked a hole and used some scissors. So kiddos, make sure that you have an adult with you when you're doing this so that they can kind of help you out. And then I cut the handle off just slightly, because the idea is that you can hook it onto something and put your plant inside this cute little planter. Now I've taken mine and painted it to kind of look like a terracotta pot. It's not exactly like one, but it's close enough just to make it not look like a milk jug. I've seen people paint faces on them. You could paint flowers on it. You could do whatever you want. And if you don't have paint, you could even use Sharpies on it. And then you just cut a little slice out of the handle right there, and you can hang it up somewhere and have a super cute planter. So the second planter is one that I love to make, and I've made it a long time, and it works really well, and it's great for starting seeds or for starting young plants, and it can even be a good one that you use in your kitchen because it is self-contained. So I used a smaller plastic bottle, but you could definitely use one of the larger plastic bottles, and I just kind of cut it in half. See how I've kind of in half? You could maybe cut this part a little larger and this part a little smaller, but you could kind of play with that once you cut it in half. So this is going to be my bottom where I put my water in, and then I'm going to take the top half like this. I want to make sure I keep that lid on it, and I unscrewed the lid, poked a hole in it right there, and put some yarn through it. I have some burlap cord. You could use yarn, you could use a t-shirt scrap, you could use a lot of things, but make sure that that loop is nice and long, because what you want to have is a loop that stays way up in your soil like that, so that when you put your soil in, this winds all the way through, because what you're going to do is put water in the bottom, set this back inside, and it's going to soak all the water up and disperse it all the way through your soil. So how cool is that? And then if you wanted to paint this up and make it look nicer, you could. I would leave it clear just so I could see how much water my plant has, and then when I need to rewater it, I just pull it out and put it back in. The third activity is straight up for the birds, y'all. So this is a 1 gallon jug, and I decided to cut some circles out of the sides of it. Mine had circles in it, so I just followed those. But you could also cut some nice big squares or whatever shape you want to cut. I would keep the lid on it to keep the rain out, because this is a bird feeder and the feed doesn't do well with rain and things like that. So then I just poked some holes and took my skewers and threaded them through like this. And I took a pant hanger, one of the ones that has like the little paper rod on it, and bent the sides of it back so that I could hook it inside and create a beautiful recycled bird feeder for my birds out in my yard. Now I would probably decorate this up maybe, and I would probably hot glue, put a little dab of hot glue on each one of these right here, just to hold it in place so when they get on it doesn't rock like that, because that's not very fun for the birds. But a great way to recycle a gallon jug. I hope all these ideas were helpful for you, and I hope it gives you something to do today on Earth Day, to celebrate our earth and to do something a little nice, and maybe grow yourself some vegetables or some herbs. Herbs are super easy, and I really like them, especially rosemary and mint, and hang them out somewhere and be really proud of what you made today. Happy Earth Day. Bye, makers.